Hey guys, welcome to this week's episode of Fangirls Only. This week our special guest is Stella.
Hi,
Hi.
Hi.
how are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm good, thank you.
That's good.
You're in Toronto, Canada, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
both of us.
Ah, gang.
Are you from Toronto too?
Yeah, I am in Toronto. I'm based in Toronto.
Oh wow. Before we start, do you want to tell us a little bit about yourself?
Sure, I'm Stella. I'm a video content creator on TikTok, mostly known for my movie parodies, Disney Channel for the most. And that's about it for now.
So let's just get started the questions now. So the first question is, what's your favorite part about living in Canada?
Ooh, I wouldn't say the cold, and I'm sorry to all people who love winter. But for me, I would say the diversity. Like I've never, especially in Toronto, because I've only lived in Toronto, Canada, and I know it's not like that, everywhere else. But I do love the diversity, and I know it's so rare to find and to have. So the diversity, 100%.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay. What's your favorite skit you've done on TikTok?
Um, I feel like I feel weird saying the one that has the most views, but I think that that's part to it too. But yeah, I would say the one where I'm I become a princess, the Disney Channel where I become a princess. I for Princess Academy, the number one, number two, number three. I feel like that was a really cool series to make as a whole, just the whole storyline, the prince coming in. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Those videos are really good.
Thank you.
So what's the hardest part about oh, I keep on messing up. Okay. What's the hardest part? What's the hardest part about making the Disney parodies?
The Disney parodies, the hardest part is just playing all the characters, doing a whole production on my own, basically. It would start with standing in front of a green screen and just, playing out the concept and imagining the whole thing. Because in the end, I'm actually just standing in front of a green screen. But getting in one outfit and one wig, changing it, getting makeup done, getting my makeup, changing that as well. So playing back and forth between characters, sometimes, a lot of the times, actually, most of the time, I don't even take off the nail polish. So in all of the videos that I have, the guy always has nail polish. But it's just like a lot of playing with different characters. And then editing, of course, takes like mad time. But I do want it, like, I'm a perfectionist when it comes to these things. I want it to be exactly like the way that I envisioned it, no matter how much time that takes. And then, posting it is the easiest. So just that whole process before posting, it just takes crazy time.
It's just like
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah.
Okay. How long have you been doing acting for?
I've been doing acting since grade 8. I started in grade 8. That's when I discovered that I really liked acting. And then from there, my teacher told me that you would have a great teacher, that I would have a great teacher in grade 9, because we had this huge teacher who made really big plays here in Toronto. And there were just like English schools would come to them because I went to French schools, and we had just a lot of schools coming to watch our plays. So it was a big thing. So growing up, or at least growing up in high school, my dream was to be in one of those plays. And so I worked for it and made it, but that's how it initially started.
Yeah. Cool.
okay. If you would live anywhere in the world, where would it be and why?
Um, Honestly, there were times where I wanted to live somewhere else for X reasons. Like I wanted to live back in France because I'm originally from France, but I wanted to go back to France for the food, or because I just love the language and for the just that whole European atmosphere. And then there was a time where I wanted to be in Mauritius, which is my background, but then there's like pros and cons to each one of them. And I find that right now in Toronto, Canada, I'm in a really good space in terms of career wise. Everything I'm doing, I'm able to be myself and just grow within my career and within my whole person. So I feel like I wouldn't want to be anywhere else at the moment,
Yeah.
but maybe in the future, who knows?
Mhm.
Yeah, there's like a lot of like oh sorry,
It's okay. It's okay.
there's like a lot of like acting opportunities and like social media opportunities in Toronto.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. It's like even Americans come to Toronto for acting or for gigs, so we're in a good space.
What is the hardest part of acting?
Um, well, for me, it's different because I'm acting with myself. So the hardest part is memorizing my lines, then I'm memorizing my other character's lines, and then saying the line that's after that. Like, because I don't have like an actual person talking back at me. So when I'm having a dialogue, I'm having a dialogue from on the outside and an inner dialogue from my other character, and I have to respond to my imaginary character basically. So sometimes I have to get in two characters at the same time, just my characters and how the other person would react and then react on top of that. So I would say that's a challenge. It's funny as well. It's fun to do, but it's a challenge.
Okay. What's been your least favorite skit that you've done on TikTok?
Oh, I can't remember which one, but I think any of my old skits when I first started, like I have deleted those, so I wouldn't know. I don't know if I've deleted all of them, but all of the old ones that I did 2020 before I started making the Hallmark, all of those ones make me cringe because I feel like now I'm established as a creator and I know exactly what I'm doing and where I'm heading. Whereas before it was just like, hey, let me follow this trend and just do this thing and try to be funny with it. But when I look back on it, it's just like, ugh, cringe, man.
Who was your biggest inspiration?
In terms of I have a few. I feel like in terms of creator, it was definitely Liza, Superwoman at the time. So I grew up watching those. At the time, there was also Bethany Moda, who's like a YouTuber, and I used to watch her like all the time. And I wasn't allowed to make YouTube videos, so I would just like sit in front of my mirror and make like imaginary hauls. And then now I'm in like into social media, so it's actually so ironic. But that those three were the ones that I would watch the most back in the day.
Yeah.
Okay. If you would be in any movie, which one would it be and why?
In a movie?
Yeah.
Honestly, I feel like any Disney Channel movie would be a really good movie for me just because I feel like I have that vibe. I don't look too old yet, so I can still play like a high school student. That works. But I feel like I would fit the vibe. It's what I do on the daily with my videos, so I definitely know how the movies go. But any of like the rom-coms type movies, I would love. I don't have a specific movie in mind right now, but any rom-coms, any like comedy type movies, I'm down for.
Yeah.
Disney.
Okay, so I think this is the last question, and it is when you started gaining recognition on TikTok, how did you feel?
Um, I I couldn't believe it because I had never expected anything out of it. I was like genuinely making it because I was like in the midst of a pandemic and I had nothing else to do. So when that happened, when my first video went viral, it was a perfume commercial. I was making commercial parodies at the time. And I was like, wow, what do I do now? Like I have all these followers and I don't know what to do with it because I hadn't planned this. So when that happens, you have to sort of go within a niche without really knowing if it's made for you and just getting into it because obviously that's why your followers watched you in the first place. So I was confused as to what I had to do next, but it's kind of like an inner communication that you have with the audience. You post and see how they react, and then based on that you keep on going and obviously going in the direction that you like as well. But yeah, it was mostly that confusion.
Yeah.
Like a long pause. Okay, well, thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you for
Thank you.
coming.
Have a good night. Is this it, or did you guys have any other questions?
Oh, we're
Is
good.
it-
We're good.
Yeah?
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you guys. Bye.
Bye.
Fangirls out.